August 2nd, 1989. Prince George, British Columbia. Cut to grainy archival footage of an abandoned truck. Slow zoom on the truck's license plate. Imagine stepping into a stranger's truck on a lonely highway. No questions asked. No one ever sees you again. That's the shocking reality of the Jack family disappearance, a Canada true crime mystery that haunts Highway 16 to this day. For lives erased in an instant. No bodies. No answers. Just silence. To understand the horror, we must first know the Jacks. Ronald Jack was a hard-working logger, born and raised in the rugged heart of British Columbia. At 42, he'd spent his life felling trees in the unforgiving forests, but the 1980s logging slump hit hard. Bills piled up, dreams of stability faded. Yet Ronald was resilient, a quiet man who loved his family above all. His wife, Doreen, 40, was the glue, a homemaker with a gentle spirit. She raised their boys in a modest home on the outskirts of Prince George. Russell, 14, was a thoughtful one, quiet, bookish, dreaming of college. Ryan, 10, was the adventurer, always outdoors, fishing or exploring the woods. They weren't wealthy, no fancy cars, no vacations, but they had each other. A normal life in a small town. That normalcy shattered on August 2nd, 1989. Visual, calendar flips to August 2nd. Clock ticks to evening. Reenactment, family at dinner table laughing. Visual, phone rings, old rotary dial. Ronald answers, face shifting from surprise to hope. Narrator, it started with a phone call, a job offer. Ronald had been out of work for months. The logging industry in a slump. Someone unknown, called with a promise. Steady pay at a remote logging camp. No details, just an address to meet. Bring the family. The voice said, "It's a fresh start." Ronald hesitated, but hope won. He agreed, packed a bag. Doreen and the boys decided to tag along. Why not? A family road trip, a chance to bond. They left their home around 7 p.m., driving toward Highway 16, the infamous stretch of road that cuts through British Columbia like a scar. Highway 16, the Highway of Tears, a 700-mile corridor notorious for disappearances, where over 40 women and families have vanished since the 1960s. Mostly indigenous victims, their cases unsolved, their killers uncaught. But in 1989, the Jacks were just another group chasing opportunity. White middle class. Unassuming, they arrived at the meeting spot, a nondescript pull-off near the highway, shrouded in twilight. Waiting for them, a pickup truck. Dark, unmarked, maybe blue, maybe white. Behind the wheel, a man no one recognized. Ronald approached first. Words were exchanged. Then Doreen, Russell, Ryan. One by one, they climbed in. The truck pulled away. And they were gone. Cliffhanger pause. Music crescendos to a sharp halt. Screen fades to black. Text. Last seen, August 2nd, 1989. White noise static overlays. Narrator. No one reported them missing right away. Friends assumed they'd made it to the camp. Days passed. Then weeks. Ronald's sister, Sharon, grew worried. She called the police on August 15th. Something's wrong. They'd never just vanish. The investigation began. But from the start, it was a cold case nightmare. No witnesses. No tire tracks. No leads. The logging camp? It didn't exist. The job offer? A phantom. Check phone records. The call was untraceable from a payphone. Search the forest along Highway 16. Divers scoured nearby lakes. Nothing. The truck was described as a late model pickup. Ford or Chevy, perhaps. The driver? A ghost. He vanished like smoke. No bodies were found. Not then. Not ever. The Jack's car was abandoned at the scene. Keys in the ignition. Inside, wallets, purses, everything left behind. It screamed foul play. But who? Why? Theories swirled. A random abduction? A targeted hit? Ronald owed money from gambling debts. Doreen had a secret past. The boys, innocent pawns in a larger game. Police followed every thread. Checked motels along the highway. Questioned truckers at rest stops. Searched for similar cases. But Highway 16 is a beast. Over 700 miles of wilderness where secrets bury themselves deep. No CCTV. Sparse traffic. Perfect for evil. Months turned to years. The case went cold. But it never closed. In Canada true crime circles, the Jack family disappearance became legend, a missing family enigma that echoed the Highway of Tears tragedies. Women like Monica Ignas vanished in 1974, or Nicole Hoare in 2002, their cases unsolved. Was there a connection? A serial predator stalking the shadows? The Jack story fueled that fear. 4 people gone in a truck. No ransom. No demands. Just emptiness. Then, in 1996, a twist. An anonymous call to police. Cliffhanger. Music drops to a whisper. The caller claimed to know the truth. Bodies, they said, buried on a ranch near Prince George. Ronald, Doreen, Russell, Ryan, all of them. Dig under the old barn, the voice whispered. Police acted fast. Searched the property for days. Brought in cadaver dogs. Dug deep, 6 feet, 10 feet. Nothing. Was it a hoax? A confession from guilt? Or a clue that slipped away? The ranch owner, a local farmer, denied everything. No evidence. No arrests. The tipster? Never identified. But it reignited the fire. Detectives revisited the scene. New technology, ground-penetrating radar, scanned the highway in 2000. Still no remains. Imagine the courtroom silence. No witness stands. No body is produced. The defendant is the unknown. The prosecution has no case. The defense? The Jack's disappearance mocks the system. A cold case where evidence evaporates and suspects melt into the mist. Who is the driver? A drifter? A killer with a pattern? Highway 16 has claimed over 40 lives since the 1960s, mostly indigenous women. The Jacks were white middle class. Did that make their case less urgent? Or was it the same monster, evolving? Experts point to the corridor's isolation. No cameras in 1989. Sparse traffic. Perfect for evil. Key dates. 1989 disappearance. 1996 tip. 2005 reopening. Ongoing investigations. Interacted with reenacted interviews. A criminologist says, this fits the profile of opportunistic abductions. A family friend. They were so happy. It doesn't make sense. Narrator. The investigation dragged on. Tips poured in. Sightings in Vancouver. Confession from inmates. Wild theories. A cult ritual. A drug deal gone wrong. Ronald's past in the logging world. Did he cross the wrong people? Nothing panned out. In 2005, the RCMP reopened the file with fresh eyes. DNA testing on the abandoned car. Cold case units. Interviews with new witnesses. Still, the trail was ice. Public fascination grew. Books, documentaries, podcasts. The Jacks became symbols of Canada's true crime underbelly. The Highway of Tears has seen reforms, better lighting, patrols, awareness campaigns. But the Jacks' mystery lingers. Russell would be in his 50s now. Ryan, 45. Parents who never aged. A child's drawing of a truck labeled Daddy's Ride. Sharon, Ronald's sister, in tears. I still set a place for them at holidays. Music swells to a poignant crescendo. What happened in that truck? A ride to hell? Or something worse? Did they fight back? Did they call for help? Or was it quick, silent, like the highway itself? The lack of bodies torments. Are they buried in the woods? Dissolved in acid? Or alive somewhere hidden? Unlikely, but hope clings. This isn't just a cold case. It's a wound. For the family left behind, Sharon, who raised the alarm and never stopped searching. For Prince George, a town scarred by loss. For Canada, a nation grappling with its dark roads. The emotional toll is immense. Sharon speaks of sleepless nights, wondering if her brother made a fatal mistake. Why did they go? That call, it haunts me. Experts theorize connections to other Highway of Tears cases. Serial killers like Bobby Jack Fowler, convicted in the 1990s for murders along similar routes. Or the highway hunter, still at large. Did the Jack stumble into his web? Media coverage amplified the mystery. The Jacks didn't. Theories abound. Some say it was a hit. Ronald involved in shady dealings. Others, a random act of violence. The anonymous tip in 1996, perhaps a killer's taunt. Or a witness too scared to come forward. Somewhere out there, the Jack family's answer lies buried under one of these lonely miles of Highway 16. And still no one is in the dock. If you have information, contact RCMP Cold Case Unit at 1-800-387-0020. Hashtag Justice for the Jack. Subscribe for more Canada true crime unsolved cases.